Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
Here is what happened previously on Yes, Chef. After arriving in Florida, Butch and Kilana decided it is time to gear up with their luggage lost. They head to the only place Butch Orson can shop, Calvin Klein. Assaulted by Butch's never-ending gaze from the posters in the store, Kilana acquires a beautiful ball gown and a sensible jacket, and Butch gears up as well. They then leave the store and prepare to head out to find the devil. Upon arriving, Butch is greeted by an old comrade, Julien. As Butch Orson is declared expired, they find there are simply too many of the devil's men to fight through, and so they run away and re-strategize as they request a parley with the devil. Though there are no assurances, Julien lets them know that the devil has granted their request. And now, Dungeons & Drimbus presents Yes, Chef.
You will be allowed safe passage up to the top floor of the building.
How do I know you'll honor that?
You don't.
And he hangs up.
Honor what? What'd he say?
He says that we can walk to the top floor to have our discussion with him, the devil.
Okay, that's a win.
Do you really think they will honor that agreement?
Well, I think they're just as curious as us, Chef, right? So they started this whole thing. I think they know that you don't know why they started the whole thing. So kind of jumping from like A to D and just getting you up there so you can like talk. I don't know. I feel like, he's kind of asking for your attention. Like he's an attention whore is what it feels like, respectfully. I know he was like your mentor or whatever, but so maybe he just wants to talk to you this whole time. He's just been trying to grab your attention. He misses you. Oh my God, Chef. He literally misses you. He just misses you. That's it. This is why we have to start asking for the things that we want. This is exactly it. Wow. There you go. Okay. We have a lot to lose. But I say we shoot our shot.
Okay. And Butch will drive to the nearest kitchenware store and he's gonna buy an electric turkey carver and an electric mixer.
Okay, very nice. It's bulky. These don't have to be plugged in, right, Chef?
We'll buy the mobile battery packs that come with them.
Okay, very good. Very good. Just making sure. I'm gonna find an electric pan. Watch me, Chef.
Let's buy 2.
Okay, so you come out with 2 pans, an electric mixer, and a carving knife.
Here. And I give Kilana the electric turkey carver.
I'm gonna hide this in my chef jacket.
You sling the carver onto your back like a sword, and then you strap the pan to your forearm like a shield.
Yeah, it's very Rapunzel.
So I'll get the whisk in the pan.
We see you wielding an electric mixer. And another pan also strapped to your forearm.
You get in the car and I have the Tide pen. Does that work on this jacket too?
Yeah.
So I'll repair the one armor.
All right, we see you use one of the 2 remaining charges on the high Tide pen, and as you use it, you see, yes, like it cleans the fabric, but also you see there's some sort of chemical mixture that almost like melts and liquid welds the holes in the armor back together.
Whoa.
You arrive at the building, and as you park, you see Julien is waiting near the entrance.
Okay, I'll step out of the car.
Same.
Okay.
Remember, Chef, we're not fighting. We're not going in guns blazing or electric carver blazing, okay?
I guess the whisk is in like a gun holster.
Julien eyes you and like raises his eyebrow.
Perhaps we reunited on the wrong foot.
He looks down at your feet and he says, "The expiry of Butch Orson is on hold until further notice. He's waiting for you."
He nods and we'll walk in.
Okay. You begin to work your way up the long, winding stairs. There are very high ceilings, and you pass the first floor, which appears to be some sort of lobby gift shop area. You pass the second floor that appears to be some sort of spa area.
Oh.
You go up past the third floor that appears to perhaps be something akin to a nightclub. The fourth floor, which seems to be hotel rooms, large luxury hotel rooms. And as you begin to make your way up to the fifth floor, you hear footsteps. And coming down the stairs is a short, portly man with a greasy mustache. And Butch, you recognize him as Hubert Riesling, aka the Critic. And he kind of averts his eyes and just like nods at you as he hurries past you on the stairs.
He gets a death stare from me as I go up.
He looks away full of just cowardice and fear. And you ascend up the fifth floor, which seems to be the restaurant proper. It seems to have some sort of like rotating dining room with a beautiful view of the beach. And finally, you arrive on the sixth floor.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Kill's gonna turn around and be like, listen, I'm not here to tell you how to do your job, but an elevator solves even an escalator. Good God. Oh, I'll say it to the devil himself. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay.
Well, speak of the devil. As you look out at the floor you are on, you see wood panel flooring. There are plenty of furnishings, more so than just about any of the other floors. This is clearly some sort of fancy office. There's a desk, shelves, a lounging area, the works. The only thing missing are the long stretch windows that have yet to be put in, and it's made more notable by the blowing breeze now that you're this high up. And Kilana, you see the devil himself. A massive man. Older, but strong, with a wide jaw and wider shoulders. His face marked with age lines and eyes that have seen more than their share of hardship and horrors. He's dressed in a fine, deep red suit, a stark white shirt. You've made it to Franklin Morelli. He looks up and he says,
Butch, a pleasure to see you again, despite the circumstances.
He'll just stare back.
Can I get you a water or anything?
That won't be necessary.
All right, so what are we doing?
That's what I've come to ask you. What are you doing? Why haven't you honored the agreement?
Butchie.
and he comes around and kind of like leans. He's standing, but he leans on the desk on the other side of it, so he's closer to you. He goes,
You know, I always thought of you like a son. I could kill you, both of you, and I won't lose a wink of sleep. But I'd rather not. Why don't you make a deal with the devil, That's what you came here for, isn't it? Sell me your restaurant. Come back to work for me. You'd have full creative control over the menu. You'd have your own men to lead whatever you like, as long as you work under me. I just can't have you stepping on my toes like this. It's just business. What do you say?
Where is my knife, Frank?
Your knife? You lost it, didn't you?
I did, and I have a feeling you know where it is.
I'm afraid I haven't been cleaning up after you in recent times. We can get you a new one, though.
There is no replacement. I want my knife.
he looks at you, but he's not looking at your eyes. He's kind of looking at like your shoulders and your back, and he goes,
You always were a little sentimental, weren't you?
That knife is an extension of my body, my mind, and my spirit. It doesn't just make legendary cuisine, it made me. Everything that knife touches becomes legend. I refuse to serve in my restaurant without it.
He walks over to a wall where you see this large golden devil's pitchfork, and he takes it up off the wall.
That knife didn't make you. I made you. Come back to me and we'll make you bigger and better than ever.
He'll take out his electric whisk and start whirring it. I already am.
So we're doing this?
You don't leave me much choice.
Okay.
And with one swift movement, he slams the pitchfork down on the ground and turns around, and from the back, roundhouse kicks Kilana down the stairs.
And says, handle the side dish. I got some butchering to do.
Roll for initiative.
That's so fucked.
Side dish.
I'm assuming, Butch, you're going to expend an action point to go first?
Yeah.
Kill got an 8.
Butch, it is your turn.
I'm going to take the whisk and stick it in his mouth and turn it on to mix it up with the electric whisker.
Oh, so you're doing a called shot.
Butcher tier 3, expend 1 focus to triple damage on a called shot.
Okay, so that's times 6.
Versatile tier 3, attacks with improvised weapons deal double damage.
Okay, that's times 12. Roll that.
11.
Okay, the devil is going to expend an action point to use his ability, Deal with the Devil, and he is going to impart bad luck as he sees you grabbing for the electric mixer. He kind of bares his teeth at you and he says,
I always taught you to go for the weak spots, huh?
and he's going to try and grab your wrist to kind of redirect it. Immediately, he just knew where you were aiming because he is the one who trained you after all.
11, so -2 is a 9.
You go to kind of drill him, but he grabs your hand and you begin to whisk. You're trying to get it in his mouth, but you kind of put it on his cheek instead. And as you're doing that, you see he begins to take damage. You begin to tear the cheek, forming this almost like Joker smile line. And he releases this like strap that he has as part of the suit, and he wraps your wrist up in it and twists it down and away. The mixer catches the cloth and tears it and actually unravels it. And you immediately break his jacket, doing away with all 6 of his armor.
Nice!
All right,
Woo!
I'm using another action point to try again.
Okay.
I'll use the electric pan this time.
Okay.
I'll do a focus again to call the shot. Natural 12.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna triple that.
Okay.
And then using the pan is gonna double that.
Say bye-bye to the devil.
And I'll take the pan and we'll smack him right in the gut with that.
Okay. Yeah, you smack him.
Good start.
And he pulls out what look like almost like 2 EpiPens. And he is going to inject himself. And then he's going to say,
Come here. I like to fight fair.
and he is going to inject it into your neck as well, and use his ability to hell him back to heal both himself and you.
What the fuck?
So you gain 4 temporary hit points, I guess, because you're at full health.
Oh, shit.
And he also heals up past his maximum, actually.
What the fuck?
All right. Those are all the hits you're gonna get.
And you see he twirls the devil's pitchfork, and he is going to use his ability, the devil's brand. The pitchfork comes flying in, dealing 2 damage, and it cuts along your back, and perfectly, just like the bottom half of the chef's jacket just like hangs off of you, almost like a crop top. However, he hasn't gotten the front side of you yet, so it's just like this loose, open flap. And you feel this hot, flaming pitchfork just barely sear along your skin, and just that feeling brings you back and infuses you with a memory. You remember your first punishment. You were sent to condemn another establishment, a woman known as the Irish Friar, who, instead of fighting, begged for mercy, unarmed. You allowed her to go unharmed, and she later retaliated, nearly costing the devil a man before she was cut down. For this, he sliced both your palms open before putting you back to work in the restaurant. The pain was searing, and the healing was slowed by the cuts constantly reopening. And you try to blink back to reality as you are haunted by this memory. Then, Kilana, it is your turn as you take a tumble down the stairs. As you look up, Julien, aka the Mandolin, is standing before you. And he says,
Do you know what a mandolin is?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Great.
and he grabs a knife from the restaurant and is going to try and julienne you. He grabs a knife, kind of twirls it around fancily in his hands, and then slices. He deals 2 damage to you, and you are wearing the stainless style jacket, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that is actually only reduced to 1 damage against your armor as he slices up and down you, and accidentally, as he brings the knife back, slices his own jacket, dealing 1 damage to his armor. He goes, ah, shit. Kilana, it's your turn.
Kill will stay close to the ground. She wants to take the electric carver to his ankles.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. I fucking said it.
I would give you bad luck, but because you're going for the ankles and it's at your height, I'll let you roll flat.
11.
That is a full success. Okay, you begin to slice it and he goes, what are you doing? And he kind of kicks you away and the carver slices through the heel of his shoe. You have broken through another one of his armor as he is now walking lopsided. He goes, ugh.
Just paying it back, Chef.
Those were Versace.
Kill's now she's gonna get up and she wants to make her way into the actual restaurant.
You run into the restaurant. You can expend the action point to get up and run in.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
As you do, Kilana, you see some of the dozens of men begin to come out from behind the counters.
Oh.
And they are going to use the hands ability. You look at the pen on your wrist, the slicer in your hand, and you see all of them hold up their own cast iron pans.
Don't like that.
That is a mixed success, so they all come running at you.
No!
With their cast iron pans, and they, because of the hands ability, deal triple damage, so that's 3 damage. Taking just regular ass knives and forks and trying to cut chunks out of you, and as you see this mass close in around you, then when they pull apart, your jacket is just gone, and you're in your t-shirt.
Okay. All right, wardrobe change.
And then you see about 2 or 3 of the different men just and pass out, having been smacked upside the head with their own cast iron pans in the frenzy and having taken a fair amount of damage.
Fair enough.
We cut back upstairs to Butch and the Devil, and the Devil is going to expend his remaining action points. He is going to, again, bring that pitchfork up, and he is going to try to make 2 more Devil's Brand attacks versus you. So you are going to take 4 more damage total as he stabs into you with the pitchfork. It goes into your gut. And you remember your first ambush. You were at the head of a small team sent out for an important package pickup. A rival restaurant had arrived first and packed the crate with explosives. You successfully led your squadron out of the trap, but you were unable to retrieve the package. For this, you were stabbed in the side. Orders were given to provide you no aid, the Devil reasoning that you have left him without resources, and so you were left with the same. You flash back to the president and he says, Butchie,
I really didn't want to do this. You left me no choice.
he pulls the pitchfork out, spins it over his head, and with the knifed edge slices across your cheek, dealing another 2 damage. You are haunted by another memory, perhaps the worst of all. Your first defeat. An espionage mission gone wrong at a waterfront seafood establishment. You were the only survivor of your crew. You washed up at the opposite shore and were picked up by Juan España. That night, the devil gave you one long slash across the back with your own knife for each man that you lost. A permanent reminder of your failures, of the burden of leadership.
Had enough yet, Butchie?
Is there windows nearby?
There are, and there is no glass in them.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna push, tackle, whatever, get us to the window with 1 action point.
Okay, roll a body check for me. I'm gonna give you bad luck because of the devil's size.
And that goes to a 2.
That is a full failure as you come running at the devil to tackle him, and he trained you. And so it is like seeing an adept, but still somewhat more novice version of his own skills coming right at him. You're head down, running, arms wide. He puts one hand on your shoulder to kind of stop and redirect you, another on your hair, and leads you running in a circle, just enough to give you momentum to lift you up off the ground, and then brings you down over his knee and throws you at the wall that you were trying to ram him into, throwing you 1 action point distance away and you take 1 bludgeoning damage. The devil is going to expend an action point to use his ability Silver Tongue.
Okay.
Oh, natural 12. He looks at you and he goes,
You've led yet another to a doom, my boy. If you survive, will you slash yourself in her honor, or shall I do it for you?
as he taunts you, you feel him digging at your insecurities, at the memories of the people who you have somehow led to harm or otherwise let down. And because that it was a crit, you are going to incur double bad luck on all rolls moving forward.
All rolls?
Yep, until your next rest.
Oh my god.
Double bad luck on all rolls.
What the fuck?
Okay.
You slam against the wall, hearing this, hearing him taunting you. You hear Kilana struggling downstairs. You hear the sounds of cast iron pans smashing against each other. What do?
I'll use my other action point to defend with the frying pan, and I'll make him waste an action point to come to me.
Okay, so that defense that you have is going to give him bad luck on any attacks that he tries to do on you.
Okay.
Which he is going to do as he just lunges forward with the pitchfork.
Okay.
Oh, 3 minus 4 is a -1 as the pitchfork actually just like kind of gets stuck in the cement wall for a second, and he yanks the pitchfork back out and he looks at you and says,
Good defense. You've improved.
he yanks the pitchfork back out, comes to pincer it back on you. You bring the electric pan down, and so it hits there and scrapes off, and instead just leaves a tiny slice along your forearm. Kilana.
Hey, what's up?
Kilana, you're downstairs and you're still by yourself. There are no other enemies for the brigade to focus on, so they're just gonna come for you again.
Kill's like, she can't decide between trying to distract these people and like keep them down here versus going up to, as if she could, but you know, in her head, she might be able to somehow help Chef defeat his demons. So, literally.
His literal demon.
His literal demon. Kill will run deeper into the actual restaurant. And in my head right now, like I am picturing like a Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, that works.
So she's gonna run further in, and she would like to be inside of the kitchen so she could just be in a more familiar zone if she's gonna be fighting.
As you do, Julien is going to use his ability Mise en Place. In his territory, Julien can expend an action point to set off a pre-placed trap.
Cocksucker.
You run into the kitchen and he says, perfect. And then plugs something into an outlet in the wall, and one of the ovens is going to explode.
You are so mean for taking away the one thing that I wanted to do.
One of the doors blasts off of the oven, poof, and it knocks you back into a different oven, dealing 1 point of damage.
Fucking asshole.
The brigade has expended an action point. As you're running, they don't quite know what to do. All of them grab their cast irons and just fling them at you. But because they're big and bulky, they all like smash into each other and kind of fall out of the air. Just one of them actually slams into your hand. Right as you're falling from the explosion, a big heavy cast iron pan slams onto your hand, and it hurts, dealing 1 point of damage.
Son of a bitch. She looks around and she sees there's like just containers filled with oil. She wants to throw that onto all the floors.
Fantastic.
10.
That is a full success. So you grab the vats of oils and begin to like spread them out. You manage to create a little island for yourself where you are safe and on dry land. But now everyone who is an action point away from you, they would have to traverse a sea of slick oil.
Nice.
And the devil has but 1 action point left, and he is going to roll. He rolls a full success with a 9, but your pan brings it down to a 6. So he manages to hit you for 1 more point of damage, Butch, this time slicing across your nose that you just barely managed to block. It is your turn, Butch.
Is there a microwave nearby?
Give me a mind roll.
It's a 5.
You see an air fryer and a mini fridge.
Air fryer. How big is the air fryer?
It's actually one of the big ones. It's a double basket air fryer.
Hey, I'm gonna open the air fryer and slam his head into it and turn it on.
Okay, give me a body roll with double bad luck.
Lucky rolls with improvised weapons, so I can nail that to 1 bad luck, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe I can do a called shot?
Sure.
That's a 10.
Nice.
I'm gonna do tier 3 and spend another focus to triple damage.
As you get slammed into the wall, you look up and you hear a very familiar noise. I guess the devil got snacky and was in the middle of heating something up. And you reach up with an unsteady hand, pull the basket out of the air fryer, see it's full of chicken tenders, and then as the devil is pulling back the pitchfork to hit you once again, you smack him across the head with a hot air fryer basket, and you immediately hear this as this is gonna do burning damage. He looks up to you. You suspect that he may have a little bit of resistance to things that burn. But he takes that hit and does look significantly worse for wear as he goes,
Butchie, is this really what you want to do?
I'm gonna try to disarm him.
okay, give me body again, double bad luck.
10.
That is a full success. As you come up, you grab his pitchfork, he goes,
Oh, feeling bold, are we?
and then you headbutt him and manage to get him to just loosen his grip enough for you to shove the pitchfork away.
Now this is an even fight.
Okay, then this is how we'll do it.
And he is going to try and just kick the shit out of you.
Okay.
He brings a knee up into your groin for 1 damage.
Butch, I don't want to kill you.
2 action points, he punches you across the jaw.
All you have to do is say you'll take the deal.
He fails. He goes to kick you in the face. You duck out of the way and he slams his toe into the concrete. He brings a foot up and just stomps your head into the ground for another point of damage. He goes,
Say that you'll take the deal.
No.
and he rolls a nat 12 as he takes the air fryer basket that you had hit him with, and he deals double damage, 2 damage, as he slams it down across your face.
Okay, that brings me to 0.
Okay.
I'm going to use Dying on the Pass.
Okay.
When down to 0 HP, you may use 1 charge to instant attack the offender. Oh my god. Okay, we're at 5.
You see the devil standing over you, and he goes,
You could have been so much, Butch, but instead, you'll be nothing.
and he goes to finish you off with a double-handed, like, fist smash as you come up with the last of your strength. Describe how you kill the devil.
I'm going to smack him across his jaw with the electric frying pan so hard that it snaps his neck.
He's coming down with the fists. Butch comes up on one arm with the last of his strength, unleashes the frying pan with so much force, so much speed, that you're not even carrying it all the way through to connect the hit. You kind of just throw it at his face, and we hear it hit the jaw, and you hear it as it cracks, and he goes flying in the opposite direction, and you collapse as the last of your strength leaves you. Please give me a death roll.
Oh god. Oh god.
You got 10.
Okay, now roll your 2 bad luck.
Oh, you bastard!
Fuck off. John, that's so cold, dude.
From a 10 to a 2.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Butch, you fall unconscious on death's door. As Kilana, you are surrounded and in the kitchen. What do you do?
All right, so I pour the oil. I want to turn on all the stoves, and I kind of want to light this bitch up.
Do it.
Cool. Kill wants to find a lighter, because obviously there's a lighter, and on her way out, like, she kind of just wants to run.
Where are you running to?
She wants to run back out the restaurant, which I know it's going to take an action point, but she wants to run out the restaurant and just, like, get to Chef Orson. She kind of just wanted to, like, lay out a trap within the actual restaurant of having the oil slick.
Okay, you spend an action point and jump up on the countertops to avoid the sea of oil. Run over them. You see everyone staring at you, kind of like unawares as far as the thing of oil. And roll me a mind check with good luck, because this is a very familiar environment as you try to light up the restaurant.
It's already a success. A 14.
Okay, that is a full success as we see you flick a Zippo lighter. The oven's open. You throw it into the oven as you jump off of the countertop. You see the oven explode out in a burst of flame. and then light up the oil. As the brigade and Julienne immediately get lit up in this explosion that sends you flying towards the stairs, and you're at the stair landing, you stumble up. The heat is coming out and licking at your face, and you see the stairs leading up to where you saw Chef Orson last.
Chef! And she's gonna start climbing up the stairs.
You run up the stairs, seeing legions of other men from downstairs have begun to work their way up. And as you enter the room, you see the devil twitching on the ground, jaw twisted horribly, and Chef Orson, bloodied, battered, and burnt, slumped up against a wall.
No. And she's gonna run to Chef, and she's gonna, like, check him for all wounds and just, like, where's the blood coming from? Is he good? Like, open up Chef jacket, see what we're working with.
Give me a mind roll.
Oh, that's a 5.
You don't know what's wrong. He could die, but you know that he is not dead yet. However, you do know that you are nearly dead, as you see men begin to filter their way up to the top floor. And as you become surrounded, you feel hope begin to drain from your body, and the devil seems to twitch. He crawls over near where you are, holding a hand up like staying the rest of his men. He looks at Butch, dying, and he puts a hand on his wrist. He says,
I did well with you. I'm proud. It should have been you.
and he seems to die. You see one of the grunts that is in the room, his eyes go wide as he watches his boss pass, and he looks at Butch as Butch begins to blink his eyes. Not quite open, he's not awake, but seeming to stabilize. And the grunt goes outside to the staircase and says, "Butch Orson is certified fresh!" And the tower seems to shout back in unison, "Butch Orson is certified fresh!" As the guards stand down and back away, granting you safe passage out of the Devil's Lair, Kilana.
Okay, I would like to use Heavenly, my ability, so that I can feed Chef so he can heal a little bit more.
Okay, what do you have on you to feed him?
I'm gonna look at one of the grunts, be like, bring me anything, any dish, anything you have.
You see immediately, like, these guys are used to taking orders, and they move. They go down to the kitchen that is on fire, and one of them comes up and goes, "Ma'am, I'm afraid you have limited time before the building begins to burn."
Do as I said!
They bring you a hot plate, they bring you a pot, they bring you pans, they bring you ingredients. You have fresh shallots, you have milk, you have cheese, you have shrimp, you have English muffins, you have eggs.
Perfect. I want to make Dad's special. I want to do shrimp with the bechamel and on an English muffin. That's what I want to do.
Give me a mind roll.
That's an 11.
And as you cook without thinking, you cook from the heart, from the soul, and you almost don't notice it. It is gentle and guiding, but you feel your snickerdoodle cookie necklace hum and vibrate, and it is warm and welcoming, almost like there is a presence giving you a hug, and it upgrades your role to the next success tier, being a critical success, as you prepare the Gold's secret sauce and your dad's shrimp Benedict to feed to Chef Orson.
You can see Kill's like fully crying at this point, but she's not like sobbing. It's just like water's just coming out of her eyes. She can't help it, and she'll feed the dish to Chef.
And you hold it to his lips as, for the first time, you see Chef Orson actually ingest something. And Butch, you regain 3 hit points as these incredible, rich Cajun flavors fill your mouth.
Delicious. Kilana,
Yeah, Chef, it's me. Are you good?
the contract is void. The devil is spoiled.
Yes, Chef, that is correct.
I don't mean to interrupt, ma'am, sir, but, It's getting pretty warm.
Yeah, Chef, we gotta go.
Chef will try to stand up as best he can.
You need some help to make it down the stairs, but you can stand, as Kilana has just ordered you to leave.
Clear a path.
Yes, Chef!
We're getting out of here.
The guards stand aside, and they look on anxiously and with respect, but also, like, waiting for you to get out so they can get the fuck out.
Yeah. And he'll look to Kilana and say, "Let's go, Chef."
Yes, Chef.
So order now! We did it! Oh my pal, we did it!
Hey, now, you did it, Vince! That was amazing! I've never been more convinced of the incredible value provided by a membership to patreon.com/Drimbus.
No, I couldn't have done it without your live sales demonstration. The way you just pulled out the Mischief playtest material, available now at patreon.com/Drimbus, and ran a one-shot whoop-pow for the Eldritch God of Sales on the spot? Pow, and blew my socks off.
Come on now, buddy. The way you perfectly set up a before and after scenario, seeing the drab, black and white, flavorless existence of the poor, pitiful soul who has to go over a month without a new episode after the Yes Chef finale next week, and then transitioning to the vibrant, colorful world of joyous wonder when that same person got access to hours upon hours of bonus content for less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, interspersing clips from the behind-the-scenes show after the Drimbus, several arcs of Beyond D&D like Morkborg, The Witcher, and Hexingtide, and more. It was beautiful.
Oh, stop it.
Can we listen to that sneak peek of Happy Campers, the Halloween arc of Beyond D&D, just one more time?
Of course.
The counselors are sat in a circle, with head counselor Abigail in front of a whiteboard, outlining the camp's activities for the next couple of weeks. Nikki B, what do we see?
You see an empty chair. And then, I guess, as the meeting is starting, you see the door slams open, Nikki B runs in, tousled hair, he goes, I'm here, don't fire me, I'm here.
And what does Nikki B look like?
Nikki B is a 6'3" big boy. He is incredibly jacked, and he is beautiful, with stunning eyes, and the most breathtaking schnoz you've ever seen on a man, as he sits down and
Because it steals your breath. It's all that oxygen in the room gets stolen. It's so big.
Chiseled by Hercules. Biceps of the gods.
Hey, Quinoa, what are we talking about? Wow, that's good. You killed it, Vince.
No, I couldn't have done it without the patrons of patreon.com/Drimbus. Thanks again, guys. You can go home now, by the way. And, my lawyer said not to do this anymore, but what the pow does she know? Celebratory took-a slaps for everyone. Jerry Benetatos, Queso Loco, Victoria Madrid, Greta and Beignet, Alex Escapes My Ass, Ace Andrews, Regina Russell, Sam Olivos, Jordan Cobb, The Unnamed Rogue, NB Star, Doubtful Guest, Michael Richters, Davis Walden, Benny Dewdrop, Myth Mouse, Callie Wolf, Brandon M. Bishop, Bridge, Twiglets, Joanna, Stan Sitzman, Scrambles the Death Dealer, Aaron Adams, Nathan Mesnard, Ruth Anados, Carrie Holmes, Melissa Rain, Sensational, Butts Aplenty, Uvula Nutria, Dane Colhoff, Loon, Faust the Heavenly Demonic Monster, David Carlton, Lord Braxton Von Wendell III, Tracy Baby, Waffle Marine, Elastic Band, Hoodie Gang Sheep, and Dobie Daddy. Thanks again. Bye, guys.
Aren't you forgetting someone? I was part of the pitch, too.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. I figured you wouldn't want a slap on that took us from me.
And why's that?
I Don't... shut up and pow me, Vince. But wait. There's more. Wow, pow. One month later, Kilana, with the grand reopening of Pandora's oven just around the corner, you now sit in an interview with a potential new hire, Charlie Twinkerton. You've had a good chat, and the interview comes to a close with your one-time rival. What do we see?
We see a genuine smile on Kill's face. You can tell she enjoyed the interview process, and you can see them both laughing, like they're actually really enjoying the conversation.
And can I just say, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate your willingness to give me another shot.
Of course, Charlie, everyone deserves a second chance, right?
I believe so, yes.
And can I just say, it's just great to see you again. And you've done so well for yourself.
Likewise, Kilana, likewise.
Thank you.
Now, you get in touch whenever you like, but regardless of what your decision is, let me just say, and he takes your hand in his, looks deep into your eyes, and says, it would be an honor to get lost in those deep blue, intoxicating, cerulean, enrapturing, inimitable eyes of Chef Orson once more.
You haven't changed a bit, Charlie.
And yet I sense you have.
I sure hope so.
Meanwhile, Butch, you wrap up your conversation with another one-time rival, Hubert Riesling, the critic. And I'm sorry, but I had no choice. I never had anything against you, Orson. Are you a little pedestrian? Sure, but you're a fine cook. I was just doing what I was told.
So you're not going to rescind your critique?
I don't think I could, but I could perhaps write a more honest review of the grand reopening.
And I'd like to see it before it's published.
Roll a persuasion check. I'm going to give you luck because he is terrified of you. Now that word has begun to spread that you killed the devil.
6.
Well, I don't think I could give you editorial approval, but I could give you heads up of what the verdict is. I just got out from under the devil, and I don't wish to be under anyone's thumb in that way again.
I don't think you're in the position to bargain here, Hubert. I think you're going to stay here in the basement and finish your critique before you leave. He raises an eyebrow.
Chef Orson, you're better than he was. I think you would like to stand on your own two legs. You would like to earn your praise, would you not? Or do you just want to go down the same path he created?
You've done some major damage to my reputation, and I want it revoked immediately. It's what I've earned.
Give me another roll with luck now that you have threatened to keep him chained up in the basement.
Natural 1.
Mr. Orson, I may not always agree with you. I think my tastes may not always align with yours. But when I look at you, I see a good man. I do not see the devil. If you really are going to kill me rather than let me write honest reviews, free of Franklin's influence, then do it. And he will get up to try to leave.
I'm sorry we couldn't come to an understanding. And I'll pull out a pen.
Oh.
I will rewrite my own history, and I'll stab him in the trachea.
Blood splatters on the camera. Later that day, we see Butch and Kilana meeting up at a farmer's market. You're browsing the fresh produce for inspiration as you prep for one last brainstorm cook session before setting the new menu in stone. A proper Orson Golds collaboration. What are you all looking for?
Gouache.
I like that. Squashing the enemy.
Okay, well, let's keep our minds out of the gutter. Right now, we're just talking food, okay?
Right. You know, Kilana, there is something that bothered me about the other day.
Oh, do you want my list? Because it's long, but you could just add to it, really. But go ahead. Sorry, chef. Go. Just go.
You told me that you only could cook with your left hand.
That bothered you because...
You're a chef now. Both of your hands should be equally dexterous. We'll practice.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think both have gotten a lot better under your teachings, of course. Still room for improvement if you're still noticing.
There is much more time now. We are free.
And Kill will just, smile at you.
And we'll keep shopping and not thinking about the murder that just committed in my basement earlier today.
You go to taste some peppers, and you go up to one pepper vendor at the farmer's market wearing black latex gloves to handle all the different spicy strains he has. And he looks at you and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan, Mr. Orson. Are you looking for a new supplier? I heard you have a grand reopening coming up."
Are you offering to help?
I would love to. Admittedly, I haven't had the chance to ever try any of your cooking. I don't know how you are with spicy food, but here, give this a try. I call it Pepper Z.
And he will put on a glove, a little latex glove, and pick up Pepper Z.
Are you going to bite it, or are you just smelling it?
I'll bite it.
Okay, you bite into Pepper Z, and it is incredibly hot, but it is full of a complexity of rich flavors. As you chew it and savor it and you swallow it, it kind of takes you on a journey from intense heat to then bringing out this subtle sweetness to an almost savory component that is not usually presented in peppers. So, what do you think?
He will calmly say, "We'll take 12. And as he speaks, fire emits from his breath.
He goes, "Okay, great." And he turns around to begin to pack up the peppers. And as you turn, you notice that Kilana is gone.
What? We're not done?
Nope.
Oh, no.
This has been Yes Chef. Yes Chef features the vocal talents of Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Kilana Golds and Nicholas Benetatos as Butch Orson. The rest of the world is voiced by our BG, Giancarlo Herrera, with editing by Anna Schooner and sound design by Giancarlo Herrera. A special thank you to all the patrons for supporting the show. Mwah, that's a French kiss from all of us at Whimsic Productions. If you would like to support the show, consider signing up at patreon.com/Dreambus to get access to exclusive bonus content, free merch, and the chance to include items in the show or have NPCs named after you. There are quite a few this season. You may also consider leaving a review of Dungeons & Dreambus on the podcast app of your choice, or sharing us with your friends and on social media. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Chef doesn't understand. Chef did everything you asked Chef to do. Please. Ouch.